Somebody honked a horn. The city is getting out of hand. So there I was. Took my hay bales. From now on, my name is Johnny One Arrow until I make some more target arrows. Somewhere in those hay bales, small collection of broadheads. But I was interested in improving my shooting range, so I moved it against the back wall. So even if it's raining like it is today, I can stand there and still, have a few feet to move the arrow from here to there. Took a can of black spray paint, made bullseye on it. So now I actually have a pretty fair target. I do miss being at the preserve in that one regard. Is that the whole damn place was shooting range, including a flight shooting range down at the beach. But being a townie presents some limitations. But I have to admit, I've got some bows just laying around, right? I need to break that up. This super long one, actually shorter than the one I shot yesterday, the ash one. My Renaissance bow, where it's kind of like a rough interpretation of an English longbow for reenactors and LARPers. But this one has been sitting here just on my shelves of bows. Just sitting there idle, right? You remember this one? And I spent a good hour or two shooting this into that hay bale. Let's see here. And I can get an anchor on it. How long is this? I don't know. I'll measure it. And it really shows you that my eyes are so bad in the dark. 45 of it. I can pull it back to 50 pounds. If actually 52 pounds, this little thing. But I was actually shooting it kind of like that. Look at it. Watch. It's an anchor, right? I was shooting it. I'm telling you. I need to set a reading light. It's hooked. It's hooked. I can't. It looked to be just shy of 50 pounds. And with the recurve, even at 45 pounds, this little recurve, well, I'm thinking, see if I can do this, because it's not really meant for this. Just a rough estimate. Okay, I think it's 56 inches long. There's some curves in it. A hunting bow. Seriously, if you were to work for Rasmussen, I think that's a polling company, and you were to have lived 200 years ago, and you were calling, let's call a Huron village. Hello. How heavy is your hunting bow? They would probably say 45 pounds. Seriously, I have to moderate my voice because you probably couldn't hear it. Probably 45 to 50 pounds. A good hunting bow. They work, well designed. But I'm thinking, as one of you who's always trying to chase, we're chasing that perfect bow, right? Taking this. Doesn't have narrowed handle in here, so I don't have that issue. You can have an issue where it's wider and then it gets narrow. It's just same width throughout. So I do not have that issue, that compression issue that some bows will have, wide limbs going to the narrowed handles. It's just the same damn width all the way through, except the taper toward the tip. So no issue. I'm gonna rock the boat Lucy here. Is that I'd have to say 45 to 50 pound range. That little sweet zone, good enough for hunting. Unless you're hunting rhinoceri or elephants or something like that. But just about everything else in North America except moose and grizzly bears, white-tailed deer and stuff like that, down. In the 45 pound range, especially from what I've witnessed, with fire hardening, again, 45 pound range. Different woods give you different benefits at different weights. 45 pound range, rocking some boats, I would say that this bow, especially if it fire hardened, would be superior to the exact same bow in hickory. This red oak bow, fire hardened at 45 pounds, would be a superior bow to one made out of hickory. Because you're not going to you don't need to worry about the same effects of string follow. When you fire hardened red oak, believe it or not, for the modest range weight bows, it's a superior bow wood. Of course, Osage would be superior than this, but in the realm of white woods, I'm not really considering Osage as a white wood. This is a really good bow wood. I'm not saying it's better than chokecherry. I'm not saying it's better than maple. I'm just saying that if I was to, I'm gonna sit down. Now I'm gonna build a bunch of these things. Then I'm gonna offer them for Christmas presents, right? November. It's a nice, pretty bow. It's recurved. I can do some spiffy painting on it. Rawhide, not necessarily sinew. Oh, this thing would be at 45 pounds, sinew-backed, little flat bow recurve, red oak, fire hardened, sinew-backed. Again, I'll say this would be a superior weapon. It really would. For one thing, you know, density. The resistance to string follow when red oak at that weight is fire hardened. Can't say enough good stuff about it. Love the bow. It's a good bow. It's a perfect bow. But I can make it perfecter, like all of us do. On to what are you gonna be doing today, John, after you're done mastering the cutting of fruit and corn? Oh yeah. It's not just fruit I cut, man. Multifaceted. I'm gonna chop sweet corn and put it into 4-packs. I am an American badass. I'm going to take this bow. Look at the glistening. What does that glistening mean? It means it's been sized, prepared for the introduction of this stuff. Now it has sat around a little bit since I sized it. I mean, I was kind of slowed down. That tricky tip. I was kind of slowed down with various stuff. I mean, again, you're finishing up bows to send them off. The details take a long time, longer than you would want to imagine. And so this has been sitting around size. But all I'm going to do is get, I don't know, maybe 220 sandpaper, scarf it, the surface, scarf every portion of it that has been sized. Put some water on it. Why not? Kind of reactivate that sizing layer. Resize it. Sinew back it. And then it's the long wait. Then go on to the next bow and the next bow and the next bow. The one thing about commission bows, this isn't negative about it, is if I didn't have this line of people, your names on my pizza box, I would do another one of these things. I've got somewhere in here, I've got another one of these blank-like things where I'd round the back, final tiller it, fire harden it, and bend it back after I recurve it. I wouldn't fire harden it, then recurve it by steaming. I'd steam it first, which red oak also steams a lot easier than hickory. Hickory is stubborn. But I like hickory. I'm not bad-mouthing hickory here. Recurve the tips. Make a form that'll give it some reflex, you know, and then have the little doinks so I can clamp the recurve tips into that thing. Fire harden it. Oh, yeah. And you know what? I'd probably be tempted even to sinew back it. And I would keep it. I would aim. This bow is going to be at whatever draw length. It's going to be 45 pounds. I know, right? There's a huge group of people out there. More power to you. You know, if you're able to comfortably shoot a 65-pound bow, why not? Whatever. Different strokes for different folks. I'm just saying that 45-pound bow is perfectly adequate hunting weapon for deer and below. I took one of these things. Actually the same templates, right? And all that thing was it wasn't recurved. It was just a self bow. It was just a piece of red oak. Wasn't fire hardened. Wasn't recurved. wasn't even 45 pounds, it was 40 pounds. And it took that 2-blade Zwicky or Muzzy, I forget which one. You know, I'm bilateral. I'm binomial. No, what, I forget it. You know, Zwicky, Muzzy, whatever. 2 blades with something like this, not 3 blades. Not a mechanical tip. 2. Went through here, and the tip of the Muzzy was sticking out the other side of her. I went right through the lungs. Didn't hit any ribs, obviously, but a 40-pound bow. It might have been kind of reckless of me. You know, really, she wasn't a giant doe. It wasn't a giant doe. It was a good doe. Yeah. Don't get swayed. I kind of laugh, you know. I'm not poking fun at you. It just kind of tickles me. I deer hunt with an 85-pound compound bow. I had a clean pass through. It hit a tree. I had another clean pass through. Right through the tree. And then there was a Volkswagen behind that tree, and it clean pass through. I had to walk to Ohio to find that arrow. I'm just kind of... Well, anyway, I think I've prattled on long enough. But yeah. Well, talking to you. You see, and it's got just this minor kick, so when it's sitting on the workbench, it's got a good amount of reflex. And when I send you back it and just let it cure and shrink up, it'll have even more reflex. And it's Osage, you know, so it's going to resist string follow and all sorts of issues. Good wood. Osage is a really good wood. You might not know that, but it is. But yeah, one of my dreams, I have a dream to pick up a piece of Pacific yew this long and make, once again, never made one in Pacific yew. Made them in Osage and stuff, you know. Even though you didn't need to have horn tips, you know, and I've made English longbows. You can get away with rounded bellies at that length. Made them out of the heartwood of walnut. This fellow one time for $45. This is why I prefer the past to the present. $45. 45. 45. He sent me, these things were this long. It was like a walnut tree. It's like he took this walnut tree and split it into staves and sent me a walnut tree for 45 bucks. Right? And I made so many bows out of that stuff. And it was multi-layer. You know, I made bows out of the sapwood, then I worked down. And I made so many beautiful heartwood walnut bows out of it. That $45. You know, try to find that now. Digging through the layers, splitting it off, or cutting it. You know, it was so straight. I could take my circular saw and take that stave and then get all these different layers out of it as I was setting the depth of my circular saw and running down the face and then hitting them from the side on both sides and stuff, being very careful. You know, just taking those giant staves and just deconstructing them into a bunch of other staves. I think that's how I did it. Maybe some splitting too, because there's limits to the circular saw depth. And adjusting the shoe, so the angle of the thing to do all that tricky geometry and stuff. I'm very careful. Yeah. I think I've rambled long enough. Yeah. Again. This is just such a nice bow. That was longer than 24 inches. 55 pounds. Could have been upside down. Have a good one. Thank you for watching. And ho ho ho! My natural pigments, my grouping, these little canisters of all these different colors of natural pigments should be coming today so I can jump to making my own paint for these things.